Good morning, students. In the previous week, you have understood how to visualize factors, multiples, common factors, and common multiples. And then you have been introduced to the terms highest common factor, which is your HCF, and the lowest common multiple, which is your LCM. You have also understood the application of LCM, where exactly should I go for finding the LCM. So today's discussion is all about the applications of HCF. Unless and until I am able to understand the situation and decide that HCF will be helping me to solve this problem, there is no point in just doing some arithmetic operations to calculate the HCF. So let us try to understand how HCF will help us in the day-to-day scenarios. So let us begin. Applications of HCF. We all know that we use factors for grouping things equally without leaving anything behind. Now, if you look at the application of your HCF, you can use it on two or more sets, and if you wanted to find largest group possible, that means you're going for equal grouping without leaving anything behind. Basically, it is both equal grouping and also finding out the largest group possible, because the term H says highest. Also, it can be thought in this way: to arrange something in rows and seeing that you're not leaving anything behind. What does these two terms mean? Let us do a small activity to understand this better. I have with me 3 color paper strips. One is my orange, one is my green, and one is my blue. I have taken 24 orange strips, 12 green color, and my blue is 24. Now my goal is to group them to form similar groups, and in such a way that I have the largest groups possible and I am not leaving anything behind. What do I do? How am I going to group them? Pause the video at this stage and take any 3 color papers that you have at home and keep the count ready. You need 20 strips of your first color, 12 strips of your second color, and 24 strips of your third color. So hope you are ready with the color papers. Also, it is important for us to make a record of all the observations that we do in between the activity 2. So what you can do, take a paper and you need to have 2 columns. With one of the column where you record the number of groups you have been forming and what is the count of each color in that group. So let us understand this by starting this activity. So as I have 20 orange, 12 green, and 24 blue, I can just form one group, isn't it? So if I just form one group, I can include all my 20 orange, 12 green, and 24 blue in this same group. Maybe like this. But if you can recollect, when we want to have the largest grouping possible, that means you are looking for the maximum number of groups possible without leaving anything behind. In this way of distribution also you did not leave anything behind, but we did not satisfy the condition of finding the largest number of groups possible. So let us try to find some other number of groups. Can I form two groups? HCF, the term HCF says that highest common factor. If 2 is a factor of my numbers, maybe then I can use. I know that 2 is a factor of 20, 2 is a factor of 12, and also 2 is a factor of 24. That means basically I am just forming two groups. So if I form two groups, how will it look like? How many colors will go in each of the groups? Because I have 20 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my oranges would be 10 and 10 in each of my groups. Let me record it. What about my green? I have 12 of them if I have to equally distribute between both the groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here and the remaining 6 over here. That means you have taken 6 green in each of the groups. Now I have to equally distribute my blue also in both the groups. I have 24 blues, so 12 in each group. 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. So 11 and 12. So I have taken 12 over here. So I'll have 12 blue. Yeah, this option is far better than the first option because I have increased the number of groups, yet I am able to satisfy equal grouping, or I have formed similar groups on both the ends. Let us see if we can find out if we can have same number of groups or similar groups by having more number of groups, because our main goal is to have the highest number of groups possible. Let me put it back. So after 2, let me try with the 3. If I want to have 3 groups, this is my group 1, group 2, group 3. I wanted to have 3 groups. Okay, how many of each color should I put in each group so that all the groups will have the same number of colors? Similarly, I am not leaving anything behind. So first let me pick my orange. Can I distribute it within 3 groups? Is it possible? Is 3 a factor of 20? No. So that means I cannot have 3 groups at all. Now let me see if I can form 4 groups. Group 3, group 4. So as 3 is not possible, I am just crossing it out. Now I wanted to have 4 groups, and let me see if I can form similar groups without leaving anything behind. So shall we try with the 4 now? As we have 20 orange papers, and can I equally distribute it to 4 groups? I need to check it first. We all know that it is possible because 4 is a factor of your 20. But also you need to check if 4 is a factor of your other 2 numbers too. Because if it is not a factor, there is no point in trying with the 4. As we know that 4 is also a factor of 12 and 24, I am going ahead. I will distribute these 20 papers equally amongst the 4 groups. We know that 4 5s is 20. So that means that each group is going to get a 5 orange color papers. 5, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the last 5 I can give it to the last group. So I was able to distribute my orange equally without leaving anything behind. Now let me take up the green color, and we have 12. We know that 4 groups, we have to divide it into 4 groups. So 4 3s is 12. That means each group is going to get 3 green color papers. Second, third group also 3, and the fourth group also 3. Now the last color. We will take up the blue color paper. We have 24 of them, and I need to distribute it to all the 4 groups. We know that 4 6 is 24, so each of the group is going to get 6 blue color papers. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then 1 2 3 4 5 6, and the last 6 I can give it to the last group. I was able to distribute all of them, all the colors equally without leaving any remainder. So let me make a note of it. I have given 5 orange, 4 3s is 12, so 3 green to each of the groups, and 6 blue to each of the groups. So can we continue this now? So the next number which I have to try is with a 5. Pause the video over here and just think if it is possible. You must have identified that it is not possible because 5 is a factor of your 20, but your 5 is not a factor of your 12. So there is no point in trying with a 5. What about a 6? If you look at your numbers, 6 is a factor of your 12 and 24, but not your 20. 7, it's a no again. What about your 8? 8 is just a factor of one of your numbers, but not the rest. 9, no. What about your 10? Yeah, I can go ahead with the first group but not the rest. Then I have to try with the 11. Again it will be a no, because I know that it is not a factor of any of the numbers over here. So now, can I use a 12? That means I am trying to form 12 groups. If so, I can distribute these 12 green color by giving each of the groups one color. Similarly, 24 is also possible where I can give 2 to each of the groups and all my 24 will be used, but not your 20. So I have crossed it out. Now let me try with a 13. Is it required to check with a 13? No, because we are trying to form 13 groups, and one of your colors, if you have noticed, it is less than the number of groups you are forming. Even if you give one color to each of the groups, to the last group that you have, you will not be able to distribute this color. So I can give a halt to my search over here. So out of 3 options we had, that means we can just go for a single group, or we can go for 2 groups, or we can also go for 4 groups, where we are forming similar groups without leaving anything behind. My 4 is the answer. That means your 4 is the HCF, and it is helping you to form the largest grouping possible without leaving anything behind. So this is how HCF will help you to form similar groups. Let us also try to understand what does this statement mean. To arrange in rows without leaving anything. That means you are trying to arrange them in rows where all the rows will have the same number of color papers, and you are not leaving anything behind. So because we know that our 4 is the HCF, let us try to form rows with 4 color papers in each. This is how it will look like. My first row, second row with the orange color, third row with the orange color, fourth row, fifth row. Do you remember the number which we got when we are forming 4, when we are using 4 colors in each of the row? I'll be getting 5 such rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now let me use my green. Again, as we know, we can use a maximum of 4 in each row. So first row, second row, third row, and I have used all of my greens. Again, you can refer to your paper back. If I am using greens and 4 in each row, I'll form 3 such rows, first, second, and my third. The last one is with my blues. 4 blues in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4. First row is done. Second row is also done. This is my third row. My fourth. My fifth. And my sixth row, which would be my last row. Okay. So if you just refer back to your paper again, 4 in each row, that means 4 blues in each row, you will be forming 6 such rows. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So if we look at our arrangement, I have used all the colors. I'm having the same number of colors in each of the rows, and I did not leave any of the colors behind. You can also try out the same activity using any 3 different seeds or nuts also, or you can use your list. Hope you have understood about the applications of HCF. Now it is your turn to try out the same using any of your numbers. Take any seeds, as I already told you, or any color papers, and try out this activity with the numbers 21, 12 and 18. Or you can take your numbers as 10, 15 and 20. Have a great day.